Good evening, friends.
Good evening.
We'll begin now. Demystifying homeopathy. Homeopathy is a very ancient science. Modern medicine or allopathy is just 150 years old. It believes that it is contraria contraribus curantur. So to cure a cold, they will give you something that warms you up. So contraria, they will use the contrary to what is being cured. Contrary aspect to what has to be cured. But homeopathy believes in similia similibus curantur. So to cure a disease which has been started by a cold, they will give you something which creates a feeling of cold in an infinitesimal dose, which will stimulate your body's own immune system and it will heal you. It acts on the pranamaya kosha. I have written somewhere here. It acts on the pranamaya kosha.
Number 8.
Number 8, yeah. It acts on the pranamaya kosha. What happens is we have meridians throughout our body and we have 7 chakras in our body. So what happens, when a homeopathic medicine is given, it can be taken in from all the 5 senses. Even in modern medicine we have creams, lotions, we have oral medications, we have medications to be put in the nose, through the eye. So they use all the 5 senses, ears, you can put it in all your 5 senses. Similarly, even in homeopathy, homeopathy can be consumed through all the 5 senses and the 9 openings of our body. So it can be transformed into a healing system by consuming through all the 5 senses and 9 openings of our body. So it can be cured, and it can be cured because what happens in allopathy, it is treated, it is not cured. The difference between homeopathy and allopathy majorly lies here that it is treated in allopathy and it is cured in homeopathy. Cured means whatever is the disease principle in your body is being totally eradicated and totally emancipated and totally healed through potentizing the medicine, through succussing the medicine, and through bringing out its capabilities of atomic reaction. If you have known atomic reaction, what happens is it comes from all the 3 plant, animal and mineral kingdom, and it is potentized, attenuated, succussed and potentized. And what happens after these 3 kingdoms, we have disease extracts called nosodes, like tuberculinum to treat tuberculosis, syphilinum to treat syphilis. So we have nosodes, means disease extracts which are potentized in a similar fashion through potentization and used to treat the disease totally to bring out its healing properties. So whatever causes the disease heals the same disease in its infinitesimal dose. What happens is, what causes the disease is a major chunk. What causes the disease basically is our poor immunity. It is not the disease agent as per what allopathy believes. It is a disease agent which causes the disease, and they create medicines to act on the disease agent or the diseased part or the diseased organ of our body. But what homeopathy believes in, that it is the immunity which has become weak. Basically our 5 koshas which have become weak, because 5 koshas become, homeopathy is a holistic science, everyone knows that, so I am not repeating what is holistic and what it totally believes in. It is a holistic science, so any of the 5 koshas which become weak, it treats that kosha and it heals you from within. So once your 7 chakras are healed, your aura improves. Once your aura improves, your energy comes back. Once your energy comes back, your spirit is in its own proper functioning and you are an enlightened soul. So you treat through these mechanisms rather than acting on a particular organ, a particular disease agent, or particular like antibiotics, rather than treating the symptoms. Now what is another misconception about homeopathy is that homeopaths do not know how to diagnose a disease. That's another misconception, because what homeopathy treats is peculiar, rare, queer and strange symptoms. We call it PQRS symptoms. These peculiar, rare, strange symptoms treat the disease. So unless you diagnose a disease, you do not know what is peculiar in that diseased person or that diseased individual which is peculiar to that disease. Like everyone is suffering nowadays from a cold, but not everyone has similar symptoms when they get a cold. Everyone is different. Sometimes there are similar symptoms. At that situation, there is what is called as genus epidemicus, which is being used in homeopathy. So it treats, genus epidemicus treats the epidemic which is occurring during the symptom, like the epidemic that we had during the July deluge in 2005, or these small epidemics of cold, cough and other problems that are there. So these small epidemics can be treated through genus epidemicus. Another misconception is that it is only for chronic diseases. No, it is for acute diseases. It acts fast on the symptom. It is for rare diseases also. Genetic disorders, to be very clear. It also can cure, it has a capacity to cure genetic disorders when it has been used in companionship with other ancillary modes of treatment, like it believes in ancillary modes of treatment, like physiotherapy, dietetics, naturopathy, Ayurveda. It believes in other ancillary modes of treatment. So if we use these ancillary modes of treatment, like psychotherapeutics, psychology, psychologists, psychiatrists, so ancillary modes of treatment are required to treat when we use in combination with homeopathy. So it believes in that. It can be given with allopathy and Ayurveda together. So if you are on allopathic treatment, because the mode of action of homeopathic treatment and Ayurvedic treatment and homeopathic treatment is different, you can give it in combination, because patients feel very threatened, feel very insecure when you tell them that you should stop your allopathic medication, you should stop your Ayurvedic medication. So if you feel threatened, you can continue your homeopathic medication with that medication, because its mode of action is different. So it will not interrupt or stop the course of action of what is the mode of action of your allopathic treatment or your Ayurvedic treatment.
Interactions.
No interaction. No drug-drug interactions. No drug-disease interactions. No drug ancillary mode interactions. So these interactions will not occur. So it can be used with that. Now what you can do is what Ayurveda believes in Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So they say that only there are three types of diseases: Vata, Pitta and Kapha, and combinations of these which cause disease. Now homeopathy goes beyond that, and there are thousands and lakhs of medications in homeopathy. Now they use the light of various stars and various planets to treat diseases. So it is, if you have heard of, astro-homeopathy is a new concept, because what we are born with certain weaknesses in our body, in our system, which are genetic or inherited. So astro-homeopathy is a new concept where your astrological weaknesses can be prevented if your medication, your homeopathic medication is given in time. So it is very preventive in action. It is again preventive in action in epidemic disorders. It is preventive in action in various psychiatric and psychological disorders. It is preventive in action for prisoners, because prisoners are very prone to diseases where there is a mass population, orphanages. So where there is a mass population, there are various infectious diseases which are occurring. So it is very preventive in infectious diseases. So it is very preventive in action. Then it takes care of your chronic incurable problems where modern medicine does not have an answer, like HIV does not have an answer, hepatitis B, it does not have an answer. So it can treat your incurable diseases. So that because it treats the human person, it treats the person, it does not treat the disease. Because treating the disease, you cannot find a cure for this, but treating the person, you always find a cure. And I have seen people who have become hepatitis B and HIV negative after homeopathic treatment. With your combined treatments, you need counseling with that.
Totally cured.
Totally cured. Your report becomes HIV negative.
HIV negative, not cured.
Cured.
Cured means, I mean,
Cured. Your symptoms go away.
symptoms.
And your HIV positive status also goes away. Your treatment, because what allopathy believes is your diagnostic reports. Your diagnostic.
It's removing the root cause of it.
Yeah, it cures the root cause of it. You have to tell the person to follow healthy modes of living. That you cannot stop him from being a human being. But healthy modes of living, because it's a sexually transmitted disease, you have to educate him, you have to tell him, you have to counsel him, and you have to tell him to prevent his behavior. Once he is counseled to prevent his behavior, you can become HIV negative and you can become hepatitis B negative. Hepatitis C again is another disease which is not curable. So hepatitis C also finds an answer in homeopathy. Again, Ayurveda has its limitations in these diseases. What Ayurveda can do here is it cannot make you diagnostically negative. It will treat you, you will become asymptomatic, you will lead a healthy life, but you will not become diagnostically negative. But homeopathy gives you an answer, you will become diagnostically negative with the treatment of homeopathy. So that is the strength of homeopathy which people have not recognized yet, which needs to go to the masses, because and what another thing, misconception about homeopathy is, if it has treated my disease, the same medicine will treat another person. No, it is individual to the person. So you have to take care that what is individual to you is to be taken by you and not by the other person. Another misconception about homeopathy is that it gives you placebos. Yes, it gives you placebos. I do not disagree to the fact that it gives placebos to the patient. Placebos or pleasing agents to the patient. Now what happens is, people come from the background of allopathy and Ayurveda where repeated doses need to be given to the patient to stimulate the system. What homeopathy does is, you need a dose probably once a month or once a week depending upon your disease. Sometimes once in 3 months. Once you are in the course of healing, you need a dose once in 3 months. If you are a very healthy person, you do not need medicine. So you are leading a healthy life, you have a very good environment, a healthy environment, so you might need a dose to just prevent any further complications in your disease. So that disease might require just stimulation once in 3 months. So what doctors do is, they call you regularly and they give you placebos. Homeopaths are very famous to give placebos. People are very well aware that I go to a homeopath and I just get placebos and I am not healed. He is cheating me. He is not cheating you. Because you are so attuned to the modern medicine or Ayurvedic mode of system of taking repeated doses, you feel that you are being cheated, but he calls you regularly, he finds out whether you are healing or you are not healing, and then he gives you placebos. So it's not cheating, it's a way of pleasing the person.
On purpose.
Yeah, it's done on purpose. It's called a placebo is a pleasing agent. So it pleases you. So it takes care of your psychological mode of thinking that I should get repeated doses. So even if you can have a very good discussion with your doctor. Once you are educated, you can tell him you do not need placebos, you understand what is homeopathy, and you can tell him to stop giving placebos, and you can constantly be on touch with him through internet or through phone if you cannot visit. Because now e-diagnosis is very common, so you can be in touch with him on Skype, through mails, through phone. So long distance treatment is also very much possible through homeopathy. Yeah, but to begin with, your treatment should be beginning with a meeting with your doctor. But after that, you can become a long distance patient. I would sincerely advise that the first meeting should be very, very clear and confidential with the patient and the doctor. Confidentiality is a very crucial and a very critical need of homeopathy, because once confidentiality is maintained between doctor and patient. After that, if you are in touch with your doctor through any other mode, it's healthy. But once that confidentiality is not developed between you and a rapport is not developed between you, you need to visit your doctor regularly. So that confidentiality needs to be developed. Now, let's talk about idiosyncrasy. Idiosyncrasy is a habit or quality of the organism peculiar to the individual. So idiosyncrasy, what happens in homeopathy is, because it's peculiar to the individual, how it acts preventively. Once the doctor takes your complete history, he knows what you are susceptible to, what you as a person susceptible to. Probably you are emotionally weak, physically weak, intellectually weak. So whatever is your weakness, he comes to the crux of what is your weakness, which is very peculiar to you as a person. All of us know that we are not similar. Even twins are not similar because they are born minutes or seconds apart. So even though twins are not similar, though they might look similar, they might behave similarly. Someone becomes an astronaut and another becomes a pauper. So this is what is the story between twins also. So here astro-homeopathy plays a very major role. It takes care of your idiosyncrasy and it prevents your disease from the time of your birth and even during gestation. So it is very, very healthy for pregnant women. Homeopathy is very healthy for pregnant women. Again, let's go to children, pediatric use. Homeopathy is against vaccination because vaccination you induce a disease agent inside your body to create an artificial disease inside your body. That artificial disease makes you weak and your susceptibility to the disease agent becomes more enhanced. So vaccination is what homeopaths are against.
But actually vaccination, it's like a training given to an army. So
Yeah.
is it not a good?
No, it's not good. It's not like training. It is vaccination according to allopathy, it's good. It prevents you from diseases. But if you see the vaccination drives which have run, is polio yet been eradicated? No, you still find spots of polio patients coming to doctors after suffering from polio. So in spite of the polio eradication drive which is a mass run in the country, it has not yet been eradicated in our country.
But if you see the history from Louis Pasteur and all,
Yeah.
all the vaccination and all this thing, there is a dramatic reduction in disease.
Reduction is there, but it is not eradication.
Yeah, that-
Eradication is the goal of vaccination, but it has not been eradicated. So what is peculiar to you, you will be still remain susceptible to that peculiar disease agent.
because their individuality is not maintained.
Maintained. Individuality is not maintained. So it's PQRS, peculiar, queer, rare and strange. So vaccination is a mass drive. Mass drive. And what happens in these vaccination drives is the individual's financial goals, the pharma company's financial goals also come into picture. What has happened in the hepatitis B vaccination drive is, after being vaccinated in the European and American countries, both the American continents and European countries, the vaccines were lying in the dumping grounds of various pharma companies, and that's when they targeted India and other South Asian countries and other Australian countries and South African countries, because here infectious diseases are on the high rise. Sexually transmitted behavior, like if you see, our media popularizes sexually transmitted behavior. Media popularizes that. Pharma companies try to control that by giving you vaccines, hepatitis B vaccines, hepatitis C vaccines. So they try to do that. Instead of preventing and counseling the person on have to have a healthy behavior, they induce agents to popularize their market. So it's the whole financial market and economy cycle which comes into picture. So homeopathy again goes against this, and it believes in counseling the patient and telling him how to have a healthy lifestyle. So they would rather go and tell the patient that you do not have to live a healthy lifestyle. And once you are treated mentally, because it's a mental weakness, when you suffer from a behavioral problem, it's a mental weakness that you have. So this mental weakness is acted upon, and this mental weakness is removed, and then what you become is like, I wouldn't say we all become Buddha and Mahavir, but we become better and healthy individuals who know what to choose and what not to choose. So our choices become more focused and more driven by our needs rather than our pleasures. What is the modern system running into is it's running behind pleasures rather than needs. So instead of running behind pleasures, which is a mental weakness, because again homeopathy, if you know, the doctor will ask you what do you love to eat, what do you don't like to eat. So it's your craving and your aversions which they talk about. Craving and aversions in terms of your eating habits. Now craving and aversions people have in terms of behavior. They would say, I do not like this person in my life, I hate this person in my life, or I don't like to see his face. Now these are extreme behaviors. So we rate the symptoms as 1, 2 or 3. So if you hate a person, it's a 3-mark symptom. If you say I don't like a person, it's a 1-mark symptom. You say I don't want to see his face ever again in my life, it becomes a 3-mark symptom. So we rate a person according to his likes and dislikes in terms of behavior also. So what is peculiar to you is not peculiar to the other person. Even twins are different. So similarly, it believes in eradicating the disease from its core. So it totally heals you from the core, and it acts basically, if you say homeopathy is known to be so slow in action. It's not slow in action, it can give you rapid cures, like a heart attack also. A cardiac arrest, a heart attack or a cardiac arrest can also be cured by giving homeopathy if the doctor knows you what is your PQRS symptom. If you are under his guidance and surveillance, like CCTV surveillance, if you are under his surveillance, he knows what to give you at that moment. So even if giving you something through the olfactory mode, in a cardiac arrest, you might not be in a situation to take something orally. So he will give you olfactory method. You can inhale something and you can feel healthy. And a cardiac arrest can be prevented. Now cardiac arrest also, I would say, prevented. It can be cured. It can be treated by allopathy. But even homeopathy can treat a cardiac arrest in the ICU. So you can take your doctor in the ICU and tell him that you treat this cardiac arrest patient, because what happens is your nitrates, which are sublingually given in allopathy, or nitrates, your anti-lipemic agents, they do not treat the particular person. Even in an ICU, the person would say that I do not like to see this one's face because this one was a person, I had a fight with him, I had a difference of opinion with XYZ, and I am lying in the ICU. So it's an emotional cause which has given rise to a cardiac arrest. So homeopathy can even cure that emotional cause which you have. So you can also take homeopathy in the ICU. So even in critical illnesses, homeopathy is the answer, which modern medicine does not answer yet. So critical illnesses, epidemics, acute illnesses, pediatric illnesses, it's very popular. Geriatric illnesses, it's very popular. So, but this unpopularity is to be answered here. It has answers. Your doctor should be capable enough of answering these questions. So you have to be under his surveillance. You have to be treated. And even if you are not under his treatment, after the attack, you can take him to the ICU. He can take your complete history. When you are in a situation to speak, he can take your complete history and he can give you medicine which can bring you out of the ICU faster and healthier, and you can be on your feet faster rather than being on the bed for months or years. So it can enhance your chances of coming back to a healthy lifestyle and being a more productive individual rather than being on the bed. So you become a productive individual. You again, what homeopathy, how I answer this situation is a productive individual gives a better answer to the economy rather than a bedridden patient. So what has UK and US done? They give, what do they give? What do they call that? I am sorry about this. They give,
Gold.
no, the geriatric patients and
artificial.
no, not artificial. They give them monthly income. No, the government pays them for the monthly
Insurance.
insurance.
Pension. Not gold.
Monthly, like a
Yeah.
a monthly income is given to you
Correct. As
after
per
you
the
after
security.
your retirement, after your citizenship.
Right. That fixed aid is given.
Fixed aid is given. So what happens is homeopathy becomes you a more productive individual. So you do not need the financial aid. So the government does not need to support you. You can support yourself because you are a much better productive individual. So you support the economy in a better fashion. You are not a bedridden patient, or you are not a slave to the society to take care of you. So they say, okay, these are the productive age, this is the productive age group, this is the pediatric age group, this is the geriatric age group. So pediatric and geriatric age group needs to be aided and supported financially, and productive age group is what they focus upon. So once you become a productive individual, you run the economy better because you are a healthy individual. You can give answers. Now if you see if you hear only the Olympic players or athletes are physically healthy in their geriatric age group. But what happens if you take a proper treatment which is peculiar to your symptomatology? You become a more productive and a physically, emotionally, intellectually healthy individual. So you support the economy in a better fashion. So it has the answers to the questions of what modern economy also is looking answers towards. But they fail to look at it from this perspective. So I was just trying to bring that perspective into picture.
So it is true what you
In
say.
offices now, see, 35 to 45 years is a productive age. Percent
25 to 45.
It's a productive age already.
Yeah. See, beyond 65, they say
So
that,
they do it is called as no use of it.
yeah, you get retired.
Yeah.
So beyond that, you can become a productive age group, and you can socially help so many social causes.
Build healthy society.
Build a healthy society, yeah, which is more productive. A healthy society is what they answer. They say we are building a healthy society. We are controlling pollution. We are controlling infectious diseases through vaccination. So we are building a healthy society. But they say it's not non-productive. This age group is non-productive. So this age group becomes productive because a healthy society, they claim that a healthy society is already being built in. But what is happening is environment is suffering, our natural laws are suffering, and homeopathy, it's a science, is a knowledge reduced to law embodied in a system. It is universal assimilation and homeostasis. So it believes in a universal assimilation of all humanitarian spirit, like spirit and matter coexist. So humanitarian spirit should coexist because it is believed and brought about on basis of a principle and a law which is unchangeable. Human beings come and go, civilizations die. Archaeological survey of India finds out, okay, this was what existed so many years back, the Mohenjo-daro existence, or XYZ existence, Harappan existence. But this is basically based on laws and principles, and laws and principles remain unchanged through total humanitarian existence. So it is more supported, and if you follow the path of truth, if you see corruption, organizations die, nations die, civilizations die, but a human being, a human spirit does not die. So what happens is, what you live back as a legend once you die, because the body decays and becomes diseased or finally dies in a healthy state. but death is constant, it's unchangeable. Birth and death is constant. So this unchanging law or principle is being answered through homeopathy, which is not answered through allopathy. Ayurveda again believes in that and it supports, naturopathy supports that, Unani and Siddha medicine supports that. But modern medicine, which is just 150 years old, which has become popular, is more because of financial incentives and financial gains which it has been popularized by. So I would suggest that use your own intellectual capacities, be very pragmatic, and then think what is good for you and what is bad for you, and then choose your mode of action. You can use it with your allopathy. If your allopathic doctor says that you should not take this medicine, you can use it with them. But you have to follow, because universal laws and principles cannot be changed, which have been created for mankind. But what changes is economical and financial goals of a pharmaceutical company or a person who is treating you. So these goals are changeable. These organizations might come and die, but principles and laws are unchangeable and constant. So what is constant? Because it believes in third law of motion, Newton's third law of motion. To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So examples, we all know every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The apple falling from the tree, gravity, laws of gravity or centrifugality. Now what happens, I would give you a small example. What happens in modern medicine, what has been popularized currently is taking care of your beauty. Beauty products are on the high. They apply beauty products, beautifying agents, and skin is the largest organ of our body, undoubtedly. So beauty is important. But homeopathy believes in Hering's law of cure, so it treats from center to periphery. So it acts on the most important organ to the least important organ. And skin is known to be the least important organ. So if you have some spots on your skin, they say it's not threatening disease. It's not a threatening disease that you will die because of that. But if you have a cardiac arrest, it's a threatening disorder. You might die because of that. So it will take care of your heart, it will take care of your brain, it will make you a more productive individual. But you might have few acne spots here and there, which is non-threatening to the person. So it's a choice that you have between taking choosing a life-threatening disorder to a acne spot here and there. So skin is the most important organ, the largest important organ, not the most important, the largest important organ in your body. But it is not the most important organ in your body. If your brain is dysfunctional, or if your heart is dysfunctional, or if your liver or your kidneys are dysfunctional, you become a bedridden patient. So it treats you from center to periphery, from the most important organ to the least important organ. So a few grey hair here and there might not cause death, but a kidney problem which might take cycles of dialysis. So it is more threatening, you undergo more pain. And what happens is all these skin lotions and these beautifying agents which are being popularized these days, they suppress the disease. Your disease goes from the least important organ to the most important organ. It suppresses your disease. So once your disease is suppressed, it goes to a more important organ. And I have seen so many cases, all homeopaths will tell you they have seen lakhs of cases where suppressing the skin symptoms or a small cold here and there, a small infectious disease, a small cold here and there by taking nasal drops has led to a significant disorder in the human person. So it could be a psychiatric, psychological or an emotional disorder, it could be a physical disorder, it could be an intellectual disorder, a thinking disorder, thinking patterns change. So because what happens is, as we consume things in masses, our thinking patterns are also changed by advertising in masses. So your thinking pattern is driven by a particular financial goal of a particular organization. So your thinking pattern needs to to change. You need to become more rational and more adaptive to the right kind and right mode of thinking of what is beneficial for you rather than what is more appealing or more beautifying to you. Because beauty does not last forever. You age, beauty is not, and if you see, if we shift from homeopathy, if you know all enlightened souls, Buddha, Mahavira, they stayed young till their death. They were beautiful and glowing till their death. So if you choose the path of yoga with the right mode of treatment, you become an enlightened soul. So that does not, beauty does not become a rare incident in your life, it becomes a part of your life. So if you choose the right mode of ancillary mode after taking homeopathic treatment, you again get whatever is desired by you. Because the universe answers your queries. It's a universal principle that whatever you seek, so is that what you will get. What you seek is what you will get. So seek and you shall be given, as they say.
So remote in your hand, which one you have to open this?
Yeah, remote is in your hand. So whatever you choose, you will get that. So making the right choices becomes crucial and critical rather than making the mass choices, I would put it that way. And that's how effects follow causes in unbroken succession. So whatever choice that you have made, it creates an effect. Once that effect is, it becomes the cause, and effects follow cause. So it is a natural law. Effects follow causes in unbroken succession. It can be consumed.
Yeah, covered. Only thing, one question comes, although you have covered everything about the homeopathy acts in all the areas of holistic medicine, but when you take a history, that is the basis foundation of the homeopathy.
Yes.
Because based on the history, like individuality, you will give treatment and all. But this needs that homeopath should also a good psychologist.
Yes, it needs.
Right. So that
Homeopaths are good psychologists because our training is such.
But then psychologist is a science and art. Now individual based on
Homeopathy is
different
also the science and art.
some may be good in psychology, some may not be good in psychology. So how you question?
No, that's a part of your training.
Okay, actually training is given already.
Training is given in psychology. Your psychiatry, psychology, training is
That is
given.
important. Otherwise, taking history and making inferences is the most important thing.
That is a part of the homeopathic medical training. So it's you have to take educated decisions so that you go to the right homeopath also. You have to choose your homeopath through which college he is coming, how many years of training he has done. So you can ask the right questions. It's your right, it's your birthright to ask and make your choices. So you can ask him the right questions. And I would say you should give him the freedom to make the right choices for you. Once you make the right, you ask the right questions, because astro homeopathy is another thing. They will ask you your birth time, place of birth. They will find out what is your weakness. They will say, okay, take for example not the physical problems. Take for example, some people say finance does not come in my life so easily. I have been a struggler all through my life. Astro homeopathy has answers even to these. So it is so important.
How you use your language? I mean, based on the patient, how?
No, astro homeopathy means they will take your date, time and place of birth.
Okay.
And some people, not everyone becomes a millionaire or a billionaire. So they will, your astrological repercussions. Like not everyone becomes a millionaire. So it can change even that. It can make you fun, it can make you a wealthy person because it can change your way of thinking pattern in terms of looking at wealth. Some people, there was a famous book, Shiv Khera, You Can Win. And another book by John Grisham.
Men are from North.
No, that is
Venice. By John Grisham.
No, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus is by
John Gray.
John Gray.
Gray, yeah.
John Grisham. The monk who sold his Ferrari.
The monk.
The monk who sold his Ferrari. He again speaks of how, he speaks about how money can be easily brought into your life and how it can go. It's how you think that money comes into your life.
Your perception.
Your perceptions. And of course, yoga tells you that you have to live by your needs and not by your greed. So if you live by your need, universe answers all your needs. Universe is the most loving, caring, undaunting mother that we have. She gives you what you need, and she does not give you when you insist on something. Your prayers are answered when it's your need and you deserve what you are asking for. So, but still, if you astro-homeopathy can answer even your financial needs. So it will see, some people say that we have been paupers throughout our life or because of astrological problems. So it can even answer questions of poverty. The paupers in Mumbai are no paupers. They have bungalows in XYZ areas. They make it a profession these days. Paupery again has become a profession. Begging has become a profession. So it can answer your needs, and it can make you an enlightened soul, that you become more productive individuals and healthy individuals. Health is again, in homeopathy, health covers all: mind, body, spirit. So mind, it heals you in mind, body and spirit. So once your spirit is healed, you are no way stopped or daunted to reach the higher goal of nirvana. So once you become healthy, nirvana becomes an easier goal, because what is the repercussion these days to nirvana or people becoming enlightened soul is they are unhealthy, or they have the factor of greed. They don't want to leave money making and they want to move to that path. So even this thinking pattern can be changed by a homeopathic reading. Astro-homeopathy answers these questions. These 4 general principles: similarity, we have spoken of. Contrariety is what allopathy believes in. Proportionality, it believes in giving the medicine in proportion to the disease that you are suffering from. So, as what I have already mentioned, that you need a repetition of doses. Probably in a cold, you might need a repetition of dose, say daily or 3 or 4 times a day, because if you have an acute fever and you need to control the acute fever, say 104 fever, you need to control the fever, so the frequency of giving the dose and the proportion of the dose, the frequency will change. Rather than a chronic disease which has come or brought about through years of wrong behavioral patterns. Because behavioral patterns are deeper in your system, in your intellectual and your emotional system, rather than an acute disease which is because of an environmental change. So these environmental change factors become temporary agents to create a disease, but a particular behavior which is very peculiar to you becomes a chronic problem which is extremely PQRS to you. So that needs more time, and it needs infinitesimal dosages. So minute dosages which act on your psychological pattern of thinking and emotionality, behavior. Now behavior is both your intellectual and emotional behavior, and financial behavior, because we might know monk who sold his Ferrari, I gave an example. Then the other example, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So is what financially or economically talks about is whatever you get from the society, you have to give back to the society. So it can change the thinking pattern. There are people who hoard on, like people who don't pay your income tax, XYZ. So it can even change those thinking patterns. It can make you a healthier individual, a more productive individual. So this behavior can be changed.
You have covered now.
Yeah, covered. Any questions now?
No, great. You have explained it properly. I mean, only my doubt was that.
Any questions?
In the homeopathy, so they are using some, they are applying some decoctions and all. No.
Decoctions, yeah.
Yeah.
Homeopathy, like suppose if you have a fall and you have an external injury, there are creams also available because locally the wound needs to be covered to prevent infection, secondary infection.
External
diseases. When the disease is external, if you have a fall, an injury, the disease is external. So it will give you a medicine to cure the pain that you have.
From inside.
Yeah, from inside. It will give you a pill to cure the pain from inside. And it will also give you a cream to apply locally to prevent any secondary infection. So these secondary infections, and that time there are these creams available in homeopathy. So like Calendula, Arnica, Calendula. There are these creams available which you apply locally and it takes care of that. So you can also use your allopathic local applications with that. It does not have any side effects. So you can use your popular medications, but balms I would be totally against because balms go very deep in action. Allopathic balms like Boveron gel, or any of these balms, painkillers, local painkillers which they give you, balms, it goes deep in action. So these balms should not be taken because the disease is internal. It's probably the wrong posture that you have, which needs to be changed through giving you physiotherapy training, a proper behavior, how to walk, how to sit, and your ergonomics needs to be changed. So that needs to be taken care of in that situation. Your behavior in terms of like, for example, I have worked with Asian Heart Institute. So doing CABGs, we stand there for 8 to 9 hours. So we are doing that. So proper posture that time becomes more crucial. And wearing your stockings, what we do, you stand for 8 to 9 hours, so you wear your stockings to prevent varicose veins. Their internal medications will not give you an answer because it's not a psychological illness, it's not an emotional illness, it's not an intellectual disease. So that posture becomes crucial. So these merchant navy, army, chefs who keep standing in bus conductors, traffic police, they need all these posture and behavior, physical behavior. So there these balms do not give you an answer, they just take care of the pain superficially, but your posture needs to be answered in those situations, your posture, your behavior. So they will tell you, okay, you wear these stockings, you cannot tell your boss that I will not stand for so many hours. So you wear these stockings during that time. Then what do is you pull your leg, do some exercise, do some physiotherapy exercise.
Change your posture.
Change your posture intermittently. So that is what is advised during that. So it can be used with that. Your physical behavior again. If you take astro homeopathy, it will, if you want to change your profession, it can give you answer to that also. Because some profession is giving you a particular problem and you don't want to stay in that profession. Astro homeopathy can give you an answer to that because it will make you intellectually more capable. So I have seen a bus conductor become a banking professional where he had a sit-in job through astro homeopathy.
Okay.
So he changed.
He was on the bus conductor, yeah.
That he
The South Indian
actor. Rajinikanth.
Rajinikanth.
He was bus conductor, then he became actor.
So it
And
can
that's
change.
also in Tamil Nadu also. Also he is from Telugu.
Yeah,
Marathi
Karnataka.
Marathi state.
Like or
So
die
it can change. I would say not reverse your destiny. Reversing your destiny is in your hands when you meditate and you do punya.
Yes.
Your punya is in control, but it can change your destiny to a limited capacity through astrohomeopathy. Because unless you do your good deeds, the universe does not answer all your questions. Sanchit Karma. We come with Sanchit Karma.
In homeopathy, there is a difference of opinion. Some says only one particular medicine or one type has to be given for a particular disease, and some says combination can be given.
No,
So,
combination.
because that's a difference of opinion among
Single
many.
dose,
Ah.
single dose, single remedy. But your remedy can change as per the time passes.
Okay.
Like your environmental changes keep
But if
occurring.
you do in combination, does that
No,
affect?
combinations work in biochemic combinations.
Okay.
If they give you, if you've heard of combinations, there are biochemic remedies which are given.
No,
Biochemic
not
remedies.
biochemic, because in biochemic they make that particular combination as a one product.
As one product.
That I am not saying.
Yeah.
I am saying different homeopathic medicines combined and a dose is given
No, that is not it.
with different proportion.
That is against homeopathy.
But some homeopath give
They
that.
do that.
Give that.
That's why you have to ask the right questions. You have to ask the right questions. You have to be very clear, because what happens is
But
homeopaths.
what is the reason not to give in combination?
No, homeopathy is a single dose, single remedy medication.
Achha.
A single dose at one particular
Means
time.
at the micro level only single dose will go.
Dose
If
works.
there is a combination, different this thing will go. I mean,
Yeah.
effect may not be
Effects
as per the
change.
desire.
Yeah. See, if they can give you mother tinctures with that.
Ha.
If they give you a combination dose, they might give you a single remedy, which is a potentized remedy, like 30 m, 30, 100 cm. Potentized remedies will
Right.
change. But they might give you mother tinctures, biochemic remedies in combination with that. For your nutritional disorders, biochemic remedies are a very good answer. So again, batch flower remedies are very common.
But some combine Bach flower and homeopathy.
Yeah,
That is also
that is advanced. That is very good. Batch flower remedies are very, very tender in their
Yes.
working system,
mainly on emotional level.
emotional level. So they work very well with homeopathy. They work in synchronization with its principles. They do not go against the principle. Because what happens in emotional disorders, people become suicidal or depressive to a very diseased level. So batch flower remedies give a quick reply to the question at that time. Batch flower remedies are
Like
very
they
tender.
say rescue remedy in case
Rescue remedy
of
for
emergency.
anxiety. Anxiety. If you have anxiety, if you're walking from here to there 10 times in a minute, they would say you take rescue remedy for that. So that has become over-the-counter medicine. It's an OTC. Because batch flower remedies can be advised, like if you see for PCOD. What is the name?
PCOS.
PCOS. They use a flower extract to treat PCOS currently. Allopathy does not have an answer.
Yes.
So allopathy does not have an answer. They will give you hormonal medications. So PCOS they are using which plant extract? They give you a plant extract for that, for PCOS. So for so many medications, even the way doctors think currently, some doctors are accepting, especially in gynecological disorders, pediatric disorders, psychological disorders.
Some of the allopathy also
They are
accept they are
open-minded.
open-minded.
They are open-minded that their medications will not work, and it's because
They accept their limitations.
they accept their limitations. And it's because people have become more aware and they question the doctor that where will this medication take me. So you have to be very much aware and you have to question. Questioning is naturally human. Because animals do not question, birds do not question.
The problem is
plants
that
do
is
not
our
question.
right, but they are not entertaining us. They don't have time.
So nowadays a poor communication is going now. Some doctors are not taking
No,
that.
but you have the right. Google God.
Yeah.
Google a medication. Ask the right questions to doctors. Online portals.
But on Google also, if you see, there are a lot of contradictory.
Yeah, so you know. So you can question your doctor. Don't be blinded by what your doctor says. We are not blindfolded. We are not Gandharis now to be blindfolded and live our lives. We have to live lives of
Because it is our life.
If it is your life, you have the right to question. Plants, animals, minerals do not question, but humans have the right to question. So you have to ask the right questions to the doctor.
Even nowadays, even for side effect, doctor will not tell you. Even after a lot of questions, it may be possible.
Yeah, no, what has become, because I have worked in a healthcare marketing firm, these pharma companies during their clinical trials do not disclose the side effects totally to the doctors itself. And doctors are so busy that when the medical representative goes to him, he flips the pages and he just tells the benefits. And then the doctor is more interested in the economical benefits. Will he get a air trip abroad to Sydney, Australia, here, there?
Percentage and all that. Yes.
Yeah.
That is our bad luck. I mean, society's bad luck, you can say.
No, but
Bad luck means
Help
the
library
trend
is that's why I'm here, because Help Library is the platform where people are being educated of what is their right,
Yes.
and you have to stand towards their right. Not these people might make money very easily and money might flow very easily in their lives, but it's not happiness that comes in their lives. So you can cheat, you can market, you can make money very easily. So I finally I will be very crucial here. It's not the right platform, but I lost my job when I questioned that during a clinical trial, the result of a hepatitis B medication was just 15%. I said this molecule should be shortlisted for not acting for this disease. They said we have spent crores of rupees in this research.
Yes, we are also from Pharma.
They said we have spent crores of rupees on research in this, so we cannot say that this molecule will not act. So there are very few doctors who will ask this question to the medical representative also. So doctors again are blindfolded by the pharma companies. They don't disclose. They market only the beautifying agents of the medication. So that is very crucial, educating the doctor. Allopathy, because pharma, I was in the same field for 6 months, and they told me, if you want to speak the truth, we are not the right people to work together. So I said, it's fine, I can walk my own path. So that's all.
It's what the trouble is, they may not tell a lie, at the same time he has not spoken the truth.
Yeah, they don't disclose. And they don't disclose it to the medical. Yeah. So you need to disclose that to the doctor, but the medical
The doctor don't ask.
Yeah, because when I said the medical literature, the leave behind literature should be designed in a fashion where you're totally disclosing the identity of the molecule to the doctor. Because I would not say any medication is a wrong system of medication. I'm 50 years old, but it is currently the most researched area. Allopathy is the most researched area where more research funds are being given. It's the most researched area. And if you see genetic engineering has answers to so many, homeopathy has answers to genetic, but to so many more problems of the defense personnel, like radiation through mobile phones. Homeopathy does not give you an answer, but genetic engineering gives you an answer to radiation. They will say use an MTNL phone to prevent radiation of mobile phones, but MTNL phone is not current trend. So and mobile phone is so convenient. Now there's one company, if I know, G-Hands. G-Hands company, it makes mobile phones which are without radiation. But then you cannot have 3G, 4G on that.
Okay.
So people, and what happens is that they marketed it in India. I purchased a G-Hands handset, but once it stopped working because the battery becoming low or something of that sort, I said I don't want 3G, 4G. I will buy this handset because it's without radiation and it's mobile. But it does not have so many promoters. It's being promoted by us. Middle East country, by Dubai or some Middle East country. So they don't have enough promoters in Mumbai. They had one which was in Andheri Kurla Road. You have to go there, they will keep your handsets. For 10 days again you're paralyzed. It doesn't have outlets like Nokia or Samsung. So you again become disabled for some time because technologies become. So for those answers, genetic engineering gives you an answer. Because modern medicine is very well researched in US and UK, very well researched, very well funded. So these problems give you an answer over there. Genetic engineering is an answer. So I am not against allopathy, but it's weighing your pros and cons everywhere. Because every cause has an effect. So everything has a pro. Food is now food is also medicine. If you take another look from it, you can grow to that state that you don't need any external medication. You can be against or away from all these systems of medication. Food becomes your medication. For a cold, you take any medication, it will last for 7 days. To control that, you just consume besan more. Besan more in your diet. It takes care. You take citric acid or vitamin C.
Vitamin C, yes.
But besan is known to absorb cold agents from your body. So consume besan
Besan in any form.
Any form, cooked in any form in your house. You can have a Haldiram ka soul papadi also. It's again besan.
Right. Good tip you have given.
Yeah.
Because C vitamin we knew.
Vitamin C
it's
is
a viral killer. So naturally it helps in C. But besan I was not.
Besan is very good. It absorbs the cold factor because again it's sattva, rajas and tamas. Sattva, rajas and tamas. So this again environmental agents you have to control through environmental factors. Food becomes your medicine. So food again is another answer to your medicine. Because environmental factors and as individuals we cannot change the environment. Natural calamities can be prevented when mass action is taken. So as an individual we cannot change the government or we cannot change organizations, but we can consume besan more. So food becomes a medicine.
Great. Very good.